Hi, my name is Tomomi Gariano, a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today is day 18 of Inktober 2025. Today's tangle is Middleton by Yu Ru Chen. So as usual, I am going to show you the step out for this tangle. Step outs, the link to the step outs are in my show note. You can follow Stephanie's link. List of Inktober 2025 tangles. So you start with square or square-ish space, and then you're gonna draw a little or smaller square in one corner like this, and then you're going to aura this original square, but not all the way, just avoiding this square, the little square you just drew, and you aura around. And as you do things like this, please turn your tile so that you're drawing your lines to the direction that you feel most comfortable. And you aura a little square too. I'm not rotating my paper so that it doesn't confuse you, or it's less confusing to you. And then you're gonna connect this corner to this corner, this corner to this corner, and this corner to this corner. And for this little square inside, you're gonna draw another smaller square on this side, and you ink in. Please ink in nicely, and then you connect corner to corner, so you have just like a little tangle cubine. That's a Zentangle official tangle. Zentangle. So this little section looks like a cubine. I think it will be fun to add, another little fragments or whatnot. But this is part of the step out. You create a little cubine here, and you're going to add a bunch of lines or aura in this direction and this direction like this. And I think this one is going to be more interesting. Once you shade, you can create quite interesting dimension to make it look more three-dimensional, or you can ink in here, or perhaps you can add texture here. There's a lot you can do with this tangle. And also, I started with really a typical square, but you can also use more wonky shape like this. And then you could add a little square here, but you could just aura these lines and say, this little square can be wonky, and then of course all the auras that's gonna follow, it's gonna be wavy lines or curvy lines. So it doesn't have to be rigid square like this. It really depends on your taste. Let me show you Stephanie's example. So she did with the wavy line, but most of the other lines of hers is pretty straight. So just explore, have fun with your lines, how you want to make this tangle look. So I think I'm just gonna do something like this on my little Bijou tile. I really like what she did, and since I have a square space, I think this is gonna fit really nicely. Okay, so I'm gonna divide this into 4 quadrants. Do I want to go all the way to the corner? I had to think a little bit. Maybe not. So I'll do just a little bit of a wavy line. Like this, and I have an idea. So instead of creating a square first, gonna draw a little, my little square first. So I'm derailing from the original step parts already. I'm gonna do all four. See when I'm doing something like this, I have no idea where I'm going, but in the end, it's gonna be all good. So sometimes you just have to trust your gut or your inner voice and go with it, run with it. Maybe I'll make this one a little bigger. And I'm gonna do this, I'm sorry. Trying to be on camera as much as I can. But sometimes when I rotate my tile, I just go somewhere else. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think it's gonna work. Oh, and I'm supposed to aura this, right? Ooh, I almost forgot the step. But even then, it should be fine. So like this, and I'm auraing. I do think a lot to make sure that I'm not forgetting step. And I hope your Inktober is going well and you're having as much fun as I am. And I'm glad that I'm doing this with you, even though before Inktober starts at the end of September, I wasn't sure if I was gonna do Inktober this year. Actually, I wasn't going to, but then I realized, you know what, I should really do this since I'm gonna be busy in October. I mean, that sounds contradictory, but you know, the busier I get, I benefit even more from having Zentangle in my life. It just helps me to relax, helps me to have something to unwind at the end of the day, a little project here and there. I'm gonna do this, and oh, you know, I should have done this before I aura. Oh well. I'm gonna do this. So you never know. I was hoping this is gonna what I wanted to do when I had this initial square idea is I wanted to do something like this so that this square, this section is gonna stick out. But I think to do that, I needed to. Now I have a better idea of how to do this next time. Let me put that on the paper. I think what I wanted to do was you start with this, and then we add a little square here, and I think I want aura, and then I do this. Yeah, something like this. Well, that'd be cool. I think that's what I had in mind when I started this, but it's a little different, but that's gonna work out. I'm just gonna let this come out from behind. It's a little more complex than I intended. So maybe you learn from my exploration, and you could achieve this this look too. So there you go. So if you want to do something like this, just rewind a little bit, and I showed you quickly on how to do that version. But still, I like this too. You know, there's no mistake. This is only my first try. Oh, this one got a little wonky. There you go. Isn't that cool? I like it. I like it. And then I add a bunch of lines. I think it's gonna look even better if I did this square a little bigger. Maybe next time. There's always next time. This is not the last time. I like tangle like this that has a structure, strong structure, and has less of doodling feel or the drawing sunflower feel to it. You know, I love organic tangles, but sometimes I feel like, wait, am I doing Zentangle or am I just drawing a flower? You know what I'm saying? You know, it's more like a botanical drawing than a pattern, which is fun too, but I really like tangle like this. I think it's more magical. Okay, so let's do shading and highlighting. I'm gonna do just like a cubine here. I'll shade in one of these little shape. So this is a typical cubine shading. Where is my tortilla? Here we go. And then let's see. I'm gonna make this a little darker here. Maybe I won't even use tortilla on this shading right here because it's such a small space, and I want to make this really nice and dark. Like this, and then since this is going over, I'm gonna shade here. So in Zentangle shading, there's no left or right or which angle the light is coming from. So you can just go around and do the same shading all the way around. Or, you know, if you like more of a traditional shading, you could focus on, for example, lights coming from this direction and only shade this side. However you want to do, but I like to, in most cases, I like to ignore the direction of light and focus on adding more drama, adding more dimensions to the tangle rather than having to think about the direction of light. It's just one more thing to think about, you know. We're gonna do this all the way around, going to the same side, keeping it simple. I do Zentangle mostly for relaxation and for mindfulness practice, meditation. I mean, I like to get into details and you know, create really nice, beautiful artwork too. But then sometimes, you know, I get stressed about, oh, I need to make this look nice, which is nice too. You know, it's just a different ways of enjoying the same thing. You know, some people are more into creating beautiful artwork. For me, Zentangle is more about process, more about method, and the benefit that you get out from. I feel relaxed, I feel centered, I enjoy this focused, quiet moment dedicated to myself and a little piece of paper in front of me. You know, what's beautiful about Zentangle is everything we do is non-representational. So we don't have to fuss about, oh, this doesn't look like something, you know. When you're trying to draw, let's say, a cat, and your cat ended up look like a turtle, I mean, that's a little far-fetched, but still, you know, it's discouraging. You're trying to draw a cat and you're like, oh, this is not the cat I want. My cat is much cuter, you know. But hey, this is just a bunch of squares and lines. Who cares how it turns? You know, it's gonna be beautiful. You're having fun. That's what I love about Zentangle. So even if this particular one doesn't turn out the way that you liked, you know, you had fun. You enjoyed yourself and you had a nice relaxing time with your beautiful tools. So there's nothing to lose. And if you have ideas like I did today but couldn't quite materialize in the first try again. It's just a little paper, and you have something to look forward. So okay, what do I want to do? I'm gonna add just a little bit of highlighting on this side. It's hard to know when to finish shading and highlighting because you can always do more, you can always add more, but I will try to finish up. And also after you add white charcoal, you know, your line gets a little blurry, and then you go over with your black pen to bring out some of the lines. Maybe I'll ink in this, or maybe I'll just make here just a little bit darker. So sometimes I'm talking to myself. Just a little details here and there. makes big difference. A little wider here. You see how I get idea by moving my pen. When I'm moving my pen, you know, sometimes, you know, I ended up putting the line that I didn't mean to, and then that gives me an idea. So I try not to overthink, and I just try to move my hand instead and just follow the inspiration. We do a lot of thinking in real life, so this is art, and have fun, and don't overanalyze, don't overthink. I mean, it's okay to analyze and overthink. But I tend to analyze and overthink a lot of things in real life. So for me, when I'm doing art, I just want to let go and relax and be in the moment. So here's that, and oh, you know what? I wanted to add brown somewhere. I forgot. I tried to incorporate brown in each tile. So what should I do? Maybe I would add. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna add a little brown square in the middle. And a little dots. I mean, I don't have to add brown, but I decided to do on, I can't remember which day, maybe like day 5 or 6 of Inktober journey. At the beginning, I was just doing black ink, but then I realized, you know, I have brown, and it's gonna look beautiful on this watercolored paper. So I decided to incorporate brown into my pieces. So each day I try to incorporate a little brown here and there, but sometimes, like you see, I forget that I have brown. So anyways, I think it looks interesting, like, you know, depending on which way I look, the look kind of changes. So that's really interesting. But anyways, this was day 18? Yeah, day 18 of Inktober. And you see how I kept doing one more thing, and then I may do more, but I'll try to finish up my video. I think I'm quite happy with this. So thank you for watching, and thank you for taking this journey with me, and I will see you tomorrow for day 19. Bye now.